Hey, welcome to Docs on Docs. This is the podcast that asks real doctors to rate or recommend a television documentary that they have recently watched.
You might say less, it's just what the doctor ordered.
Introduction of our hosts. I'm Les Jepson, along with Brian Joe Rogan Murray here on the podcast. We're both childhood friends, obviously, and we both work as healthcare executives in different parts of the country. And we've started getting hooked when we've got free time. We've been hooked on watching really compelling or fun documentaries, and that's manifested into when we stop by the doctor's lounge or stop by clinic or visit with the doctors that we work for. They'll share with us, an interesting documentary that they watched, or we'll give them some ideas of some documentaries as well. And that's the inspiration behind our fun little project here, which is Docs on Docs. So let's
Yep.
introduce this episode. Our guest physician today is Dr. Tanya Filardi. Dr. Filardi, thanks for joining us. She is a pediatric neurosurgeon by training and is in an academic role at the University of Kansas Medical Center. And so we're thrilled that she's with us.
Dr. Filardi, welcome. It's so good to see you, and thank you for being on. Can you tell us a little bit about which documentary did you recently watch?
So I recently watched the documentary Class Action Park.
All right, very good. To give a little bit of background on Class Action Park, it is a 2020 documentary that was first introduced in the Florida Film Festival. The documentary takes place in Vernon Township, New Jersey, and is essentially was filmed, or the outtakes for this particular documentary came from the real amusement park called Action Park during this time. And as it basically had come to be known, the particular gentleman who started up the this particular theme park, his name was Eugene Melville. Probably
Eugene,
not, yes, probably not someone who you would probably describe as having the highest of character, maybe some shady business dealings, maybe even to say something to the effect of he was maybe more of a modern day Barnum and Bailey in that he was just willing to put things out there that maybe felt would be very well attended by several people, and maybe he would make a fair amount of money off of it. But at the end of the day, I don't think he really cared too much about the risk to patrons or employees, etc. So we can get into, yeah, go ahead, Les.
yeah, the interesting statement. He actually opens the park in 1978, and he envisioned it as a park with no rules, and therefore it would earn the moniker Class Action Park, Accident Park, or my favorite, Traction Park.
Probably not considered a very safe place to go when you consider also while you're watching this particular film. Let's just say that the young people, probably high school or college level age, didn't really care about safety, weren't trained at all. Literally, when they say like if it almost takes like on a Caddyshack type atmosphere, and there was not a lot of responsibility for those who were supposed to be in an area of authority. So maybe just to kick it off, Les, do you want to ask about Dr. Filardi about maybe what drew her to the documentary?
Yeah, great question. I'll tell you, this was an amazing documentary, one of my all-time favorites, and it seems twisted but fitting that we have a neurosurgeon doing our review with us. And so, Dr. Filardi, tell us what drew you to this documentary, and when did you watch it?
Sure. So everyone likes a theme park. We've grown up with all the different, we grew up in the Midwest. So, we had our Cedar Points, we had our Worlds of Fun, we had all these kind of around here in the Midwest. And then, Disney, which is always kind of top up there.
Yep.
So I thought it'd be interesting to watch something about a little bit of a different theme park in there. I didn't watch it just me. I actually watched it with my niece and my sister, so we could all enjoy the fun of
Okay.
the theme park.
Okay.
Because it's a family, right? Theme parks are for families,
Uh,
except this one isn't. This
This,
one definitely had a specific demographic.
yeah, it's transformed into Universal Studios Halloween Horror Nights.
Crazy.
It's absolutely insane documentary, and it's the fact that this place existed, right? And my one of my favorite quotes was that Donald Trump originally was thinking about investing, but he thought it was too risky. So, I mean, it's absolutely bonkers. I loved it. What were some of the more compelling parts of it that jumped out at you, or some of the more, huh, what am I watching?
There were so many different parts. At first, when I started watching it, it felt like it was a bit of a hype video for a theme park. It was kind of like, the propaganda, making it
Right.
exciting. Everyone's getting hyped up about it. And they kept cutting to people who work there, who they're talking about all the people that have been injured there, all the different, like they were giving specifics about all of these injuries. And they were kind of talking about like, yeah, it's an everyday occurrence. So it really struck me, especially even they had his son, the creator's son, in there. He seemed just excited to talk about it, and I'm like, shouldn't you be a little ashamed at all the people that got hurt?
Seriously
They
hurt. Seriously
Agreed.
hurt. And
Agreed.
yet
Yeah.
he would kick it up, right? Every new ride he rolled out, he would kick it up. Like he had the cannon toboggan thing, and then he had that water ride, and they're like, well, who are the engineers that designed this? Right? And it goes in a loop, and he's like, well, we just couldn't get enough speed, so people would either fall down or get stuck in the top of it. And so
were
we
there
tweaked it, and
engineers?
yeah, no,
Yeah.
there was no qualified individuals putting this park together. And we're not talking about the 1920s, right? We're not talking
No.
about the 1950s. We're talking about in our lifetime, this park existed and these people ran it. I mean, it's just absolutely
What
bonkers.
about the teeth at the top of that
I
one
know,
ride
I
that
know.
people were getting lacerations, and it was unclear why?
Indeed, indeed. Well, we don't want to give away too many spoilers, right? I mean, I think we were in consensus that that was pretty impressive. If you hadn't gone into medicine or even beforehand, do you think you would ever work at an amusement park or considering any of those roles? And I have to be honest with you, having frequented many a park in my day, is that I was sitting there going, I wonder what it's like to work here and work on Raging Rapids or work on on the swings or the roller coaster. But do you ever think
It's
about a job like that beforehand? And if so, would it be at Action Park?
I would say that definitely in my younger years, absolutely, I would have thought about working in an amusement park.
Okay.
Now that probably older, wiser, hopefully, and within this job, I would say no, or it would have to be air conditioned. I've gotten too comfortable with things, and it would definitely not be working at Action Park.
I agree. I agree. How long was Action Park again, Brian? Was it like 90 minutes or 100? I can't remember if anybody can remember how long it is. And it's just one sitting for those that might be interested in watching this documentary. I think it's HBO might have had it on. I can't remember. You can find it on YouTube, ironically, or at least
And
you can
Mac.
find the trailer for it on there.
And
Um,
Philo, there were lots of places.
Oh, thank you. Didn't know
yeah,
about Philo. Thank
me
you.
neither. Me neither. Um, what did we get it on Rotten Tomatoes, Brian? What did it get on
Yeah,
its ranking?
absolutely. So, looking at Rotten Tomatoes gave it an average score of 96%. So, literally off the charts, probably the highest rated documentary of the four documentaries we reviewed so far. So, that one blew my mind, and we can get into some more details later. Maybe a little bit more down to earth was the IMDb rankings. That was an all around 7 out of 10.
Okay.
So those were in terms of, those who liked it was a 7 out of 10. Dr. Filardi, now knowing that you have performed many severe head and neck interventions,
Including on
uh,
Brian.
yeah, well, that's for another podcast.
Sorry.
Uh,
You know what? I'm going to back up. I apologize for saying that was inappropriate. Actually, Dr. Filardi took care of me before, but I'm fine now.
But yes, with all of her expertise and background dealing with vertebral compression fractures, traumatic brain injury, etc., we
Yes.
feel that
Wow.
there's no better person to review and rank the movie Class Action Park. So please take it away, Dr. Filardi. What do you give this documentary on an overall score of 1 to 10?
Man, that is a really good question because it almost feels like you have to have two ratings.
Please
Keep
tell us
going.
more.
Keep going.
Yeah.
So you have to have the rating for overall documentary, how well they laid out the case on there. I think
Okay.
in that case, that's going to be high up there, like a 9.
Good. Good.
Now, if you're rating on, do you want this? Like I said, it sounded very propaganda at the beginning.
Yeah.
It feels a little disingenuous to give it that high rating. It feels like your rating needs to be much lower. It needs to
We're
be almost like a
celebrating violence.
correct. And
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
kind of just even some of those end messages, everyone was so proud of making it through with an injury. It's hard for me to feel great about giving it anything higher than a 4.
Oh, wow. Okay. So do
Tough,
we
tough
average?
critique. Tough critique.
So
Honest,
Death and
but tough.
Destruction
Yeah.
4.
All right. So does that fall in? Les, remind me, who was our last guest from? Was it Vanderbilt?
That was Dr. Kennedy joined us for our last review. Yes.
Yeah, yes. And he actually made a great point when he said, take it from kind of the content and then take it from the perspective of maybe someone who would not typically enjoy the content. And he kind of did an average. So is it too much for us to say, Dr. Filardi, if we take your 9 and the 4 and average that out? Now
Then
I
you've
have to
got
do my
eight and a
math.
half.
That's a 6.5. 6.5,
Okay.
right?
8, 6, six
Six
and
and
a
a
half.
half. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So 6.5, and that comes in line with what I would say is right in the right neighborhood. It's more with I'm sorry, your IMDb rankings of 7. So you know what? I'll just match Tanya Filardi's average of the 6.5 today.
Okay, I'm
How
going
about you, Les?
7.72. 7.72 is going to be mine. The
Okay.
film ends with
Wow.
the film ends with the interviewees reflecting on the park as a whole and stating that the vision for the park continues to live on in schemes such as Theranos and Fire Festival, which we will be reviewing at some point down the road.
All good points. And maybe one of the final takeaways before we close things out,
Yeah,
maybe needs to be you can look at this for entertainment value, but maybe also take a look at this as a cautionary tale.
you bet. And also nostalgia. So thank you, Tanya, for joining us. We sincerely appreciate you spending a few minutes with us. I'm glad you enjoyed this documentary. We don't care if our guests if anybody subscribes or anything else, but if you like
Or
documentaries
likes us or view.
or likes us, or yeah, if you like documentaries and you want to share your feedback or thoughts, be sure to weigh in on the comments down below as it pertains to Class Action Park. All right, Dr. Tanya Filardi, thank you so much for being with us and weighing in and giving us your thoughts on Class Action Park. And
Please join us next time on Docs on Docs.
thank you.
Thank you.